Hello, friends and viewers. Welcome back to another episode of Kevin's Corner. Today, I will be reviewing Sonic the Hedgehog. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like, comment whether you agree or disagree with my review, and subscribe for more movie reviews like this if you have not already. I'm also going to introduce a question of the day. My question of the day is, what's your Sonic OC? That's my question. What's your Sonic OC? What animal is it? What is its power? What does it do? For me, mine is, I don't know, Greg the Porcupine. He has the ability to, I don't know, make really good pancakes. I don't know. Sure, Greg the Porcupine. He can make really good pancakes. Alright, so Sonic the Hedgehog is the story of a blue alien who has to hide on Earth from the government, and in particular, one mad scientist who wants to take his power of super speed all for himself. You know, the classic Sonic storyline. Sonic has to hide on Earth because everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's a blue alien. The good. I actually like the little origin story they give Sonic in this movie because in the actual games, Sonic doesn't have, like, an actual backstory. He doesn't have an origin story. I think he did in the comics one time where it was, like, revealed that, like, Eggman created him, but, like, that just opens up a whole bunch of can of worms that I don't want to get into. And I don't think that's confirmed at all in the video games. Really, in the games, nobody has a backstory, oddly enough, except for Shadow. I think Shadow is, like, the only Sonic character who actually has a backstory. Except maybe Knuckles, but, like, everyone else is just kind of there. Just there and just like, hey, I'm here. I kind of like this origin story, even though it is kind of a ripoff of The Legend of Zelda. You know, video game protagonist being raised by a giant owl in the forest. It's, kind of a little derivative. Just a little bit, but don't worry, there's more derivative stuff coming soon. I think that Ben Schwartz did a pretty good job as the voice of Sonic. I think he really captured that rascally but good-hearted nature that the character is known for. My only problem is that this isn't really his fault, this is really more of the writing's fault. He's a little too worrisome, like, I don't know, Sonic is a lot more carefree in the video games, and here he's really afraid of, like, getting captured. Whereas in the games, he's just kind of like, yep, I'm me, yep, hey, whatever, cop's gonna catch me, I'm just gonna break out of jail. I'm busting out of here! I'm actively busting out!
I'm gonna kill all of you!
Yep, we've heard that one before. Anyway,
I'm
wait.
busting out now! I'm actively busting out of the prison!
Oh god, he's actually doing it.
I'm now outside of the prison bars! Here I
You're a
go!
fugitive to law, Sonic.
Wham! I told you I was gonna break free!
The CG model, it does look very fake at some points, but I think they made it look as realistic as they could, given the time constraint and given, like, everything. They had to reanimate the entire movie with this new character model. I gotta say, it's impressive that that the animation team was able to pull it off. It's really a shame that they had to be disbanded after. Yeah, really tragic what happened to all those animators. They worked so hard for this, and then their studio got shut down. It's like, yikes. Although there were certain parts, especially when, like, he had to, like, interact with the humans, that it did look fake, but again, given the situation, I can forgive it. You know, I used to think this whole thing was just a ploy to try to get people into watching the movie, like tricking them, like, aha, see, we listened to the fans, and we redesigned the model. It's like, but haha, this was the model that we were going to use the whole time. We only tricked you. We used a fake model for the trailer to trick the internet into getting an outrage, and so then we would use the real one. Like, that's basically what I thought. I thought, like, they had one model for the first trailer, and then when they saw the fan reaction, they would actually reveal the real model in the second trailer and in the actual movie. Except for the fact that, again, the movie was delayed by a few months, although I guess you could say that's to make it more realistic. But then I saw all the merchandise using the old design, and yeah, I don't think that Paramount and Sega would go through all of this trouble and waste all that money on merchandise just to trick fans. They could have just gone with, like, the better design in the first place. And I actually rewatched my reaction video, and I was way too easy on that. It was way worse than I remembered it being, honestly. Sometimes I try to imagine the movie at certain points with the old model, and ooh boy. Look it up and see. There's a ton of unreleased merchandise and a stand-in model that was used in the movie that's based on the old design, and the model is hideous. Jim Carrey was very entertaining as Dr. Ivo Robotnik, and they even give him a reason why he's called Eggman in the movie. Sonic does call him Eggman at one point, and there's a reason for that. I'm not going to spoil it, although it's not really much of a spoiler, but I'm not going to say. Yeah, Carrey, he was just doing a lot with this character. I mean, if you miss the old Jim Carrey, don't worry. He didn't go anywhere, he's back. And man, I mean, he really revealed a lot of things about Eggman that I didn't know. I mean, who knew that Dr. Robotnik was a Dom top? Now, I did kind of like this one scene where, when the cop first asks him, like, what he is, Sonic says, "I'm a hedgehog. Isn't it obvious?" I really wanted the cop to say, no! Like, I wanted at least at one point someone to say that hedgehogs are small and cute, and for Sonic to, like, retort saying, well, objectively, I am smaller than you, because he is pretty small, he's only like 3 feet tall. And subjectively, I'm pretty cute too. That would work with the new design, but imagine if he said that with the old design. Ooh boy. The wife, I want to like her, but like, she's not really given much personality. There's a scene where they do that, there's actually 2 scenes where they do that, X-Men Quicksilver scene, you know, where everything slows down to show a super fast character running around. I know it's derivative, but it is still really cool, and I really appreciated it. I really liked it, so, I don't know, I liked those moments. It was nice. It was cool to watch. Sorry. Alright, the bad. Alright, stop me if you've heard this one. A non-human character has to be hidden away from the government or some kind of authority figure by a human companion in their house, or they go on a road trip or something. This movie's plot is so cliche. And like, why? And just, it begs the question, why? Why is this our Sonic story? Why is it a hide the monster kind of storyline? Like, why are we doing this? Like, this ain't what Sonic is about. When has Sonic ever been about this? I mean, yeah, I guess it was during, like, you know, the beginning of the Sonic X cartoon, but even then, his human companion was a kid. Like, you know, say what you will about the Sonic X cartoon, but at least they got that right. Yeah, they made the human that's hiding him a child, which who the target audience could relate to and imprint themselves on. How is the target audience supposed to imprint themselves on a married cop in his 40s? Like, why not have the human companion be a kid, or at least a teenager, or at the very least, a young adult? James Marsden is 46. Do you know how old James Marsden is? James Marsden has a son who is a legal adult. Yeah, he has a son who's 19, a legal adult. That's how old James Marsden is. And yet, he's supposed to be who these children are supposed to relate to, having Sonic be their friend, or Sonic is supposed to be his friend. I don't know, I guess it is kind of like a father-son-ish relationship the two of them have, although it's kind of a little weird, because again, like, I don't think Sonic needs a parent? Like, are they trying to say that? It's so weird. Now, I can understand if, like, the writers, you know, they wanted to take inspiration from only the first game. It's just the first game, you know, no extra characters, you know, Eggman and Sonic. But, like, even then, I feel like you could have come up with something that's a little bit more in the spirit of Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, look at the Sonic SatAM cartoon. That was in the spirit of the original games, and that created a completely original plot that was, you know, that was also pretty unique and exciting and relevant, because it was about, you know, industrialization, and about how Eggman represented industrialization, and about how he abuses animals to power his machines, and, like, that's kind of what happens in the games. I mean, yeah, like, the early games didn't really have a plot, but, you know, that was at least something that was in it. It wasn't about, like, Sonic is an alien on Earth. Honestly, why was this movie even live action? Why couldn't it have been animated? Why does it have to take place in the real world instead of Sonic's world? Why does this have to be a fish out of water story? My theory is budget, because there's a few Easter eggs here and there about, like, other, like, Sonic-related material and characters and stuff, so I feel like they want to delve into that, but they feel like they can't, and I think the reason is budget. I feel like they wanted to test the waters with this first movie, and, like, just create something safe that and see if they can make money, and if they do, then in the sequel, it'll be more like the actual video games. That's at least my theory, and it'll actually take place in Sonic's world. But even then, like, they could have just gone with lower quality animation. I mean, it doesn't have to be super realistic. I mean, Sonic is not a character that's meant to look realistic. I mean, have you seen him? I think that with future movies, if they get a bigger budget, I feel like they will incorporate more of Sonic's friends and characters in Sonic's world, because I feel like they wanted to, but I don't feel like they could. You know, speaking of expanded Sonic characters, I find it interesting that they made Sonic in this movie with his super speed so OP that in order to create conflict, they had to come up with a way for the antagonist to be just as fast as he is. A Sonic antagonist that's just as fast as he is. Well, gee, if only there was one from the actual games that they could use. And there's a lot of product placement in this movie, but oddly enough, there wasn't any for the restaurant Sonic. Like, you would think that since there's a restaurant called Sonic that sells chili dogs, you would think that the Sonic the Hedgehog movie would have some kind of cross-promotion tie-in with Sonic the restaurant. But no, it doesn't. Instead, we get Zillow and Olive Garden, which, like, I don't know, I feel like they could have... I guess Sonic the restaurant wasn't up for it. They were just like, nah. Because, like, I feel like it would be a huge missed opportunity for them to not even reach out. Imagine, like, Sonic, like, a scene where Sonic goes to the restaurant and is like, wow, they named a fast food place after me, or it's like, wow, this is a place for me, this is my calling. Oh, the chili dogs, I love it. See, you would get that fan service, you would get the product placement, it would work, but for some reason they're just like, nah, we don't want to do that, or we couldn't. I don't know. And on the topic of real life things, Sonic makes a lot of pop culture references in this movie, which I guess sort of makes sense, because, like, he does have some kind of understanding of pop culture, because, you know, he reads Flash comic books, which I'm assuming he stole, because, like, how would he be able to buy them? And he also spies on, you know, James Marsden and, you know, his wife in the movie when they watch movies and stuff. Kind of creepy Sonic spying on people like that. So, like, he knows a lot about a bunch of different movies, I guess. He knows all these pop culture references. He knows how to do Fortnite dances, but he doesn't know what a bucket list is? Like, I don't know, kind of a little inconsistent there. Or how to read a map, read road signs. We'll get to that in a sec. Also, they were really pushing the PG rating on this movie. Like, there are direct references to drugs and alcohol in this children's movie. Like, the words drug dealers was directly said by a character in this movie. Drug dealers. That phrase was said verbatim in this family film. Okay, spoiler talk. Ooh. Throughout the film, Sonic laments having to go to a mushroom planet after he's discovered on Earth, which I guess was meant to be a subtle jab at Nintendo, except that they keep on bringing it up, so it doesn't seem so subtle anymore, like after like the millionth time that Sonic brings up, oh, I don't want to go to this mushroom planet. But the main spoiler that I wanted to talk about is by the end of the movie, Sonic traps Robotnik inside the Mushroom Planet. Like, he traps him on that planet that he was going to go to. And it's only then, when Robotnik is trapped on the planet, that he looks like his video game counterpart with a bald head and a crazy big mustache. But why not have him look like that from the beginning? Like, you've already established that he's supposed to be like this weird, eccentric guy. Why not have him bald with a crazy mustache before? Why have him with a full head of hair and just a short but curly mustache? I don't really understand that. I didn't really get that. And there's a mid-credit scene with Tails in it, and he looks great, and honestly, that was the most hype that I was during the entire movie. Just cause at least there was something resembling the actual Sonic that I know, the actual games, instead of just cliched family movie with a non-human character in a human world. So I'm hoping for the inevitable sequel that the movie will be better, at least in the terms of fan service, because there really wasn't that much in this movie. I mean, there was a little bit here and there, and even some meta jokes, but considering the meh plot, it just wasn't enough to make up for it. I mean, if I'm being honest, one of the main reasons I liked the prologue so much was because we got to see the Echidna tribe. I mean, just like seeing like a little bit of, oh, that's a thing from the game, that's a thing from the game, and it kind of got me excited, and because honestly, I didn't really have much else to be excited for. And as for this meh plot, why it's so meh, here's something that's really dumb. So, Sonic's main reason for going on a road trip with this man in his 40s is that he needs to get to San Francisco because he ended up losing his rings there because they're like portals. And the reason that Sonic needs to go with this man is because he doesn't know how to get to San Francisco. But like, you're super fast though. Can't you just run around and figure it out? I'm not gonna go too much into detail why this doesn't make any sense, because MatPat did an entire film theory video about why it doesn't make sense, so if you want the details, just watch that. But it doesn't make sense. And you could argue, oh, well, he just had an ulterior motive of he wanted the companionship, but that's really reading a little too deep into this movie, and I don't think this movie is meant to be read deep into at all. I mean, it's a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Okay, so, final ranking. On a scale of bad, okay, good, and great, I give Sonic the Hedgehog an okay. It was better than I expected, but also a huge disappointment. Pretty much, meh. Alright, that's all I got for today. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye! Whoosh! A lot of people compare this movie to Detective Pikachu, and it's pretty obvious why. But, like, imagine how much worse Detective Pikachu would have been if it was just, like, about a movie about a Pikachu in the real world, and it was just regular people's reaction to seeing this bizarre creature that they've never seen before. I'm glad that Detective Pikachu actually takes place in a Pokemon world.